You know, some of you may think, I think I said earlier that I left another company, retired from that company is what I did, to come to Farmers because of a gentleman named Dan Siegfried, who wouldn't leave me alone for about a year and a half. He and I kept having lunch together. It's kind of a neat story. I'd taken a CIC class where Ross Pierce was teaching, and Ross Pierce kept talking about Farmers and how great Farmers was. And so I went up and asked him, why do you keep saying that? Why, you know? And so I gave him my card, and he happened to be spending the night with Dan. And so Dan then called me after the CIC class was over and said, hey, I'd like to get together with you. So I went and sat down and talked with Dan. And let me just tell you, some of you think I'm absolutely nuts, and I am. But I was making between $250,000 $300,000 a year. I had a full expense account, had a furnished auto, had a 401k, had a full retirement benefits, all that kind of stuff, $5 million book of business, all that. And Dan said, I really want you to come go with Farmers. And I was like, you've got to be crazy. You've got to be crazy. He said, it's the best business opportunity in America. You got to do it. And so what made me change is that I saw a quality leader in Dan. And then Dan said, we're going to do this. He says, you can do it if you'll just put your mind to it. And I didn't realize what championship, how big a deal it was until I got out there. I was like, you know, because I'd won other achievement clubs. But when I got there, I found out that there's over 14,000 agents in Farmers, and there's 240 at championship. So that's 1.7%. And I had a lot of fun with it because, you know, I'm no spring chicken. You know, I'm not a young guy, but people would walk up to me and say, "Oh, well, how long have you been with Farmers? And how long has it been since you've been trying to get, you know, make it?" Because most people at championship, it's been 10 years. Larry from Nebraska, he's been trying for 36 years and he made it. So it's awesome. It's awesome that he did. And so it's a big deal. It really is a big deal. And I saw why it's a big deal, because you really get to find out what the heart of Farmers is all about. You get to meet the people who are pushing the buttons and making things happen. One of the things that they talked about there that was over and over again, and you're going to love this, regression analysis. Does everybody know what regression analysis is? No. I haven't heard that. I had not heard that term since I was my statistics class at TCU in 1974. Okay, long time. You had to take statistics get your business degree at TCU. Regression analysis. What in the world does that mean? Well, you know what that means? It means that these people are really smart.
They go to TCU too?
No, they didn't. But what it means is that these people are really brilliant people. They know their facts, they know their numbers, they know what it's going to take, and they know how we're going to get to where we need to go. And it's doable. We are going to be able to do it. It's not a pie in the sky. It's not something that's just saying, hey, let's try this, let's go for this. It is definitely doable, and they're going to do it. And either we can get in there and go with them and win, or we can try to fight it. And I hope that's not what we do, because it's going to be fun. And you know what? The one thing that I really missed at being at championship, and I'll just be real honest, okay, is because I didn't know anybody else that was there. And you know what? It made it really awesome would to have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of you guys there to be there. And I'm going to be there next year. I'm planning on it. And so I'd really would love to see several of you, you know, be there. Well, back to my farmers analogy. Okay, we are farmers. what do farmers do? They grow things, right? But what do they do first?
Plant.
But before that,
Work the ground.
they work the ground. Lonnie's a farm guy. He knows. That's great. He's right here in front. They pick the land that they want to work, and they work the land. They cultivate it, okay, and get it ready. How do we, as farmers agents, cultivate the ground? What do we do, Twan? How would you cultivate your ground?
Pick the market.
Pick the market that you want to go to, okay? What else? Flavio, what do you do?
Same with AMP.
Okay, yeah, because AMP is really getting your name out there. On the radio, I hear it all the time. Yeah, that kind of thing. We're going to get TV commercials now, right? Sometime this year, supposed to, hopefully. Is that going to happen?
Maybe not this year.
Not working if we can't.
Okay, not yet, huh?
More participation, and then we will.
Okay, so there we go. We need more participation to be able to do that. Cultivate the land, radio, television, advertising, getting our name out there. Farmers is doing a great job of branding, getting it out there, but it's up to us to brand our own names and for us to get our name out to the public. Just going and being part of the community events, being involved in BNI, doing all those kind of things. We got Amanda as part of the Ames BNI for me up in Ames, and is just doing a great job. She's gotten all kinds of leads, from doing that. And so that's how we cultivate, the land to get it going. So then what does this farmer do next, Joe?
Plant.
He plants. Yeah, he plants. He has to put seeds. How do we plant? What do we do to plant?
Set appointments.
Okay, set appointments, prospect, quote. Thank you, Kendra. We have to quote. We got to quote, 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 quote. That's the name of the game. If you don't plant the seed, is it going to grow? The thing that made me think about is back when I was a kid in first grade. I don't know if you guys did this, but in Texas, they would have us get little Dixie cups and put our little seed in the Dixie cup and watch it grow. And see if it, see what it grew into being, right? Did every one of those grow? I always had one or two cups that didn't grow. They just didn't make it. But if I'd not planted that seed, what would have happened?
Nothing.
I had dirt. Nothing. I had to quote to be able to make it grow. And that's the part. And if we aren't quoting, there's not going to be what? Sales. And what is sales? What's sales in farmers' terminology?
Growth.
Harvest season, right? Farmers love harvest season. Really, and that's one of the things that's awesome about Iowa. You get to know farmers when harvest season comes around, they are pumped. They are ready to go because they're out there making all kinds of money. A lot of money. And that's what we can do. And that was what I saw, is that's what the folks at Farmers are doing, is they're helping us to get to that point to where we can really become great harvesters. Deb just this morning just told a great story, and she'll share it. I'm not going to take her thunder, but it's down in Joplin. But the story she's going to tell you is awesome about what Farmers does and how we're different, because we are different. We aren't like the rest of the guys. We've got something that nobody else has, and we've got heart, is what it is. So you're going to hear a little bit more.